Hey everyone, and welcome to day 5 of our 7-day challenge. We are celebrating my launch of The Promise, my love letter to humanity. And day 5 is one of my favorite topics because it's really all about how do we transform everything that we've experienced or what we perceive life to be and see it through the divine lens. And so the day 5 and really the 5th pathway in The Promise is called transmutation. Now, transmutation, and this is really the story I love to tell about this, and I kind of butcher it more and more as the time has gone on, the years have gone on. But I remember doing an energetic attunement, which, by the way, is something that you will receive if you buy 2 to 4 books. But I was doing an attunement on a large group of people online. And I remember afterwards, this woman had this incredible experience and someone encouraged her to share. And it was so, so, so beautiful. And I write about it in The Promise, but it was something to the tune of, when we were doing this attunement, we saw this tapestry of our lives. And I love, love, love playing with what I call the tapestry of our life. It's this beautiful, it's literally like a tapestry, and it's got all of these different patterns and colors and images. And it's just, the fullness of our entire life experience. And this woman was sharing that in her tapestry, she had a very large kind of like house shack type thing. And the embodiment or understanding of it was that bad things had happened when she was, in that shack. It represented some parts of her childhood. It was. And she said, for the first time, instead of it being, front and center and it being kind of a broken down shack, it shrunk and it moved to the corner of the tapestry and it started to kind of transform. And I thought about that and I was like, that is what an energetic attunement, when I do this energy work, that's exactly what I want. She said it so much more beautifully than I could have ever articulated it, because her energy was speaking so loud and you could tell something massive had been released. She had healed and shifted something amazing during that attunement. And it was this transmutation process, something that was once so heavy. Instead of it like completely flying off of the tapestry, it was still there, but it had changed form and it hadn't become the epicenter of her life experience anymore. It had just become a part of it. And I hope you can feel kind of the energy behind that, because that's so powerful. There's no reason and there's no way for us to completely remove the things that have happened to us in our lives, in our human experience, and maybe some of the pain and trauma that we've gone through. But we can transmute it. We can transform it. It can become a part of the story, but not the whole story. And that's what that pathway is all about. So what I wanted to do before we get into our reading is share one of the concepts, which I'll do a reading on as well, but it's called the gift shift theory. Now, this is something that I kind of coined years ago. My husband and I were thinking some of the things that I have gone through, as difficult and painful as they have been, at least in those moments, I've been able to take them and they have become unbelievable tools to help the world. I have gone through things that have allowed for me to deeply, deeply understand the pain of it, heal myself, and then be able to give that to others. And I think, although I believe if anyone is embodying the frequency of love, there's no one they can't help because they can hold space for that pain. But I also know, and at least this is what I've chosen, and it feels authentic to me, is that even though I could hold that space regardless of what someone has or hasn't gone through, there is also a part of me that says, I've gone through certain things so that I can understand the humanistic viewpoint of it, or the human pain of trying to heal it, of being lost in it, of just having to deal with it. And I believe that that's a gift. And because I've chosen to shift the things I've gone through into a gift for others, it has also really lightened the energy, and it's transmuted the energy around my own pains, because I realize that I'm not alone and I'm not walking alone. And I don't want anyone who's gone through the things I've gone through, or, worse or different and everything in between, I don't want them to feel that false sense of separation. So me choosing to turn it into a gift to help others who have gone through all, the vast array of human pain that we can all experience at times, I can hold space for it. And so I wanted to do a quick reading. I'm going to bounce around to 2 different parts of that particular chapter, that particular pathway on transmutation, so you can get just the essence of what I mean. All righty. So first, even if you're surrounded by darkness, just take the next illuminated step. No matter what we've done or how much darkness lives in our past, that past does not and cannot ultimately define us. We have the capacity to transmute some of our most painful experiences into our most meaningful gifts. After all, darkness is just light that has forgotten itself. Every experience is an opportunity for illumination, and it doesn't require making a journey to the other side of the world if it feels like night where you are. The light is never far away, as it resides within your very being. And then to go to the gift shift theory, because I wanted to share something in that particular chapter there. And of course, I'm jumping around, so some of these stories that I'm talking about you will have read, but maybe not here right now. I believe the reason I was able to transmute my relationship with my dad and bring it to a more honest and soul-centered place is due to something I call gift shift theory. The term refers to the idea that a quality or aspect of our history that may once have wounded us can become our greatest gift. Perhaps a person experienced intense trauma in their early life, and their shame has caused them to push the experience away or to pull toward themselves a better life, quote unquote. This push and pull approach can keep us in a state of resistance, as it's rooted in a lack of acceptance of what happened to us. When we find the light, we start to see that traumatized part of ourselves as something that has forgotten its true nature as light. In this way, the person who has lived with complex trauma can learn to step into their light without shame or blame, and the very thing they once encountered as dense and debilitating can be transmuted. They can now use that painful experience as a way to help others who are similarly hurting. They can see that while they suffered in the past, it's possible, of course, it's always possible, right? It's a choice, but it's possible to view their story from multiple angles. For example, their pain helped them develop greater compassion for both victims and perpetrators, who each suffer in unique ways. This is how we come to transmute the coal of our suffering into our greatest treasure, a sense of purpose that can become our service to the world. Transmutation helps us elevate our feelings of worthlessness and loneliness so that they can become the launch pad for our genius. In the words of someone I once heard, "I'm sorry God has so much faith in you." This is what happened to me. The moment I decided to move out of Mandy as daughter and into Mandy as soul, I saw that I had a divine gift that helped me to mirror the light to other people so they could find their way back to their true selves. I wasn't able to do this because I'd lived some kind of charmed life where nothing ever hurt. Quite the opposite. I'd stumbled around in my own personal maze of darkness for years, and it hurt like heck. But in the midst of the hurt, I discovered an unbelievable expansiveness that I would come to recognize as the divine. I found that even at my lowest low, there was a beautiful light that would always remind me of my innate perfection and wholeness. I didn't have to be perfect, and to paraphrase the wonderful poet Mary Oliver, get on my hands and knees and walk through the desert in repentance to prove my goodness. I wanted other people who felt similarly broken to realize the same was true for them, that this transformation can happen in an instant instead of through years of self-imposed punishment or attempts to try to be a better person. The divine will welcome us home whenever we're ready to come back. And I wanted to be the kind of person who gave people a roadmap to home. Okay, that concludes our day 5 of our 7-day challenge. We have 2 more juicy days. And again, as I always say as a reminder, if you buy 1 book, you will get access to our 1-day event, 3 to 5 hours of so much magic that we're going to be sharing. 2 to 4 books is going to give you an energetic attunement, which I actually just talked about. So perfect timing. You can already know a little bit of the power behind that is so, so huge. I'm so blessed to be able to do that type of energy work. And 5 will allow for you to get Mandy 365, which is a year-long program, over $1,000 program. And it is mantras, meditations, lessons, themes in life, everything that you could possibly be going through. You're going to get a short video or a snippet of a lesson or all kinds of different things, depending on the day, for an entire year if you get 5 books. All right, y'all, thank you so much for joining me for day 5 of our 7-day challenge as we go over the pathways in the promise. And in case no one has told you today, I love you.